Hello there, my friends. Chris Marcus here with you today on July 3rd on behalf of Arcadia Economics. And just a quick video about a few thoughts of how to handle it when you wake up and it's another day like today where the silver price is getting pummeled. I mean, up down 40 or 50 cents on the day, which my best guess is if you look in the trading records, you'll probably see some large block orders from some banks that are don't have the metal that they're selling. Certainly, again, there's certain things we can or can't see, but my guess would be it's the same type of manipulative behavior that you see such a rather drastic move on a pre-holiday. So in either case, what do you do about it? If you're a precious metals investor and you're investing in this market, I still think that can be a great thing. I am heavily invested in the gold and silver market. And perhaps the best thing that I find on a good day I'm able to do is the best piece of advice I ever heard was not checking your cell phone first thing when you're lying in bed. Wake up if you're married and you're checking your portfolio before you say good morning to your wife or husband or girlfriend or boyfriend. I found that was a good change to stop doing myself. So I like to get up, do some meditation. Some days we get it, some days we don't. But again, just taking a deep breath. And my guess is that if you're sitting here watching this YouTube video, then regardless of whether silver was up or down on a given day, you're still probably alive in one piece. Life is somewhat okay. So, yes, while we care about our investments and things that are happening, anytime we can take a step back and realize, all right, well, at least I get to play life again tomorrow, always a good step. So, along with that, and another one that I've done in the past as well, and I'm like to think I'm learning from, if it's affecting your life that much, how much silver or any asset is going up or down, then that's often a sign that perhaps a position might be too big, or maybe there's a need for some diversification. Again, I was trained by an option trading shop which used a bit of a poker mentality, and so there's some degree to which we were trained. You look at the situation, and sometimes you treat things a certain way. And then there are other times where you can be more aggressive, and that comes up to each individual person. By no means can I make a blanket statement for anyone out there watching, but just think about how you're living your life and making sure the investment strategy you're using is something that's adding to it. Again, I often talk about how especially if you're working and you have a regular monthly or weekly or whatever income stream, if you buy physical metal and just think of that as savings and can divorce yourself from the need for some resolution in the market to happen tomorrow or next week. But I find usually when that's a little trickier to do is by all means I would be very, 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 very cautious about any sort of margin or leverage. I do trade some options on silver miners, which probably if I hadn't traded options professionally wouldn't do myself and would be very hesitant to recommend someone else to do. But also I go in that with the realization, knowing that I'm looking at that as similar to an insurance policy, that maybe something will happen during this period, and maybe I make educated guesses about how likely or aggressively I want to do that. But again, that's not something that's suitable for most people. And going back to the first part of just, if you're taking your part of your savings and buying metal on a regular basis, whatever it may be, making sure that, you're not going into a state of depression or just freaking out or losing it, because this is something that you have to expect is going to happen. yes, I expect there's going to be a day where it's going to be a much different story in the upward direction. But until then, hey, for better or worse, I get it. It's manipulated. It's going to happen. So the best I can do is be calm about it. So the second thing is that if you employ strategy number one, then days where things are down can actually be good because you are buying things cheaper. So again, like most things in life, trading and investing, a lot of it comes to mindset. And when you can see how these pieces fit together. So you get a good strategy in step one. And then now, if you're buying your metal cheaper and it's being done in a sustainable way, then it works in your favor. And hey, the price goes a little lower, great. And then one day, and things go a bit higher, it's good. And at least that's one positive that comes from the days where you wake up and you do see it a lot lower. And then the last thing, which ties in, is sometimes it's also good to take a step back from silver. It is an incredibly fascinating story. It's been a focus of my life for 8 or 9 years now. So just looking at the silver price, reading about it is something that I'm always doing. Yet in the past couple months in particular, following the whole Bitcoin saga and buying my first Bitcoin, but also just learning more about it. I was somewhat familiar with Bitcoin, although it's been interesting as I learn more about it and see why some of the folks that I like to listen to and think often have good information are seemingly so excited about the cryptocurrencies. Is that in addition to the fact that some of them can serve as an alternative currency as we continue to, again, for me, it all started with seeing how the current financial system and currencies and debt markets are headed for a crash course. Although I'm continuing to learn about a whole bunch of different things that these cryptocurrencies can be used for. So, hey, if there's a day where your silver position didn't go the way you wanted, can always be a good opportunity to learn about other things and realize that there are other investments out there. And I found that helpful myself in terms of just getting better at being able to have the whole investing process something that serves me rather than takes away from life. So see how it goes. Play around with those three. Let me know how it feels, if there's anything that you found helpful that some of our other viewers might benefit from. Comment below, hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you again tomorrow.